Morning everybody, and let's begin our yoga class. So we're starting in the semi-supine position with our bodies on the ground, our knees bent and our feet on the floor. We're going to take our hands, the heels of our hands, placing them on the frontal hip bones and your fingers towards your pubic bone, and we'll start by doing some pelvic tilts. So let's inhale and let the tailbone tilt away and create a little bit more space under the lower back. And then as you exhale, flatten your back, draw the stomach muscles towards the spine and engage your pelvic floor. Inhale, tilting the tailbone away, creating that space under the lower back. And exhale, flatten the back, draw the stomach muscles towards the spine, engage the pelvic floor. And then on your inhale, return to a neutral spine. So just a little bit of a space under the lower back, your tailbone's on the floor, feeling that your spine is long and comfortable. Taking your arms away from your body with the palms up and letting your shoulder blades be nice and broad, slide them down towards your waist. Feeling your head resting onto either a head support or the floor. Making sure the centre of your head is resting onto your head support. Your feet should be shoulder distance apart and in a comfortable spot so that you can just leave them there without really thinking about them too much. On the inhale, we're going to lengthen the neck by sliding the back of your head away and letting your chin come towards your throat. And then on the exhale, relax and release. Once more, inhale, sliding the back of the head away, chin towards the throat slightly. And then exhale and soften. So making yourself comfortable so you can be still in this semi-supine position. And begin to focus on your breath. So it could be that you're focusing on the breath and the touch of the breath in the nostrils. It might be that you're more inclined to feel the movement of your breath or the sound of your breath or something else entirely. So whatever it is, just choose that thing, that sensation, and focus on it for 3 breaths. And then we're going to do 4 rounds of square breathing. So it's all 4s. You'll inhale through the nostrils for a count of 4. Hold the breath in for 4. Exhale for 4 through the nostrils. And hold the breath out for 4. Please keep on going in your own time. I find when I'm doing this that I'm normally doing it with the pulse of my heart rate, but you can just use your own rhythm. And then after your next exhale, breathing naturally. And then we're going to start our movement. So we'll inhale. On the exhale, bring your right thigh over your body, holding onto the shin, stretching your left leg away. On the inhale, you're going to compress your right thigh in towards your abdomen closer. And then on the exhale, change. So bringing the left thigh over the body, stretching right away. On the inhale, compress your left thigh in closer. And then on the exhale, change. So twice more for each side, please. And once you've finished with your left side for the last time, just stay there. And then when you're ready, bring both knees up over your body, giving them both a hug. And we'll inhale. On the exhale, engage the pelvic floor, chin towards the chest, forehead towards the knees, snuggle up into a little ball. And of course, if your neck doesn't like this, let your head come down. And then on an inhale, do let your head come down, making sure you're lengthening the neck as you take the back of the head onto the floor. Widen your knees and slide your hands down in between the legs beside the calf muscles, and then hold on to the big toes or the ball of the feet. Your knees are wide, they're pointing out probably wider than your armpits. And then on the inhale, keep your thighs down towards your rib cage and bring your feet up into the air. Happy baby pose. So you're trying to draw your feet back behind you, then have a little rock from side to side like a happy baby. Coming back to the middle, just hold and draw those feet further back, feeling a stretch into the belly of your hamstring. And then release, bending the knees, taking your feet down to the floor, making fists by the side of the hips. So your knees and ankles are together, and then let your knees widen and the soles of your feet come together. And the fists are there to help support the thighs if you need them. And if not, just release your hands, palms up, letting the knees be very heavy. A few long, slow breaths. And engaging the pelvic floor, bringing your knees back towards each other. And bring both knees up over the body, placing your hands on top of your knees. So we're going to inhale and bring the knees back towards the body and then widen them, circle them back around and back towards each other. So we're making really big circles that come from the hip joints. So let's keep it moving. Big circles. Once your knees come together, go the other way. And then when they're back together, let your hands rest on top of your knees. Your knees are above the hips. We're now going to make the circles go in the opposite direction. So you're going to bring your left knee towards your body. The right knee moves away. And then we continue the circle as the knees move in opposite big circles to each other. And then when they come together, we go the other way. This time your right knee will come towards you, the left will move away, and 3 or so circles in this direction. And then bring the knees back together. Give them a hug in. Make little circles with your knees so you're massaging your spine. Go back the other way. Come to the middle and place your feet back down into semi-supine position. Let's interlace our hands underneath the head. Elbows wide to begin with. Your head is going to stay heavy. We'll inhale and let the elbows point up towards the ceiling, hugging the side of the head. And on the exhale, pointing your elbows towards your knees. So letting the head be heavy. Hopefully you're feeling a stretch along the sides of the spine. On an exhale, you might like to take your elbows further towards your knees. And then again, let your head be really heavy. Breathing into the space between your shoulder blades. And then inhale, come down, letting the elbows widen. So release your hands, roll on to, I guess, the side that you can see the screen to begin with. And we're going to let our arms, palms together, come out in line with your shoulders. Letting your head relax down or just keeping it up a little. Your knees are stacked. And we're going to inhale and bring the top hand up towards the ceiling or the sky. And then exhale, open it back up behind, looking up or even behind you if you're very flexible. Try to keep your knees stacked. And then inhale, come back up towards the ceiling. And exhale, bring the palms towards each other again. Inhale, taking your arm up. And exhale, opening up behind, letting the arm be heavy. And we'll take a few breaths here. And then inhale, the arm back up towards the ceiling. And exhale, palms together. And then roll onto your back and over to the other side. So the arms are out in line with the shoulders, palms together, knees stacked. Inhale, raise the top hand up. And then exhale, allow it to come back behind, opening up, following with the head. Inhale, bring it back up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, palms towards each other. And again, inhale, coming up. Exhale, opening and holding. Nice, long, slow breaths. And then inhale, bring the arm back up. Exhale, palms together. We're going to now roll onto our bellies. So have your hands, once you get there, underneath your forehead, elbows wide. Take your legs so that your feet are at least shoulder distance and maybe a little further apart. And you can either have your toes tucked under or you can have your ankles open. It's up to you. Letting your upper body be very relaxed. You're going to inhale and raise your right leg from the hip, really letting the upper body be relaxed. So you don't want to push into your hands or your elbows. Hold it up there and breathe. Stretching out through the toes, little tightening of the buttocks muscles. And then on the exhale, let your leg come down. Inhale, raise your left leg from the hip joint. Upper body is relaxing. Hold and breathe. And then exhale and lower. Take your arms out in front of your body now. So you're like Superwoman or Superman. Your forehead come down toward the mat. And we'll inhale, raising the left leg and the right arm and your head. And then exhale and float down. Inhale, raising the left arm, head and right leg. Exhale, and as you exhale down, draw the stomach muscles gently towards your spine. Inhale, raising left leg, right arm and the head, keeping your neck long. You should be looking at the same spot on the mat rather than forward. And then exhale and lower, stomach muscles draw to the spine. Inhale, other side, left arm, right leg and head. And exhale, float down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, palms down. Snuggle your elbows in towards the side of the body. Keeping your core nice and strong as you inhale, push up onto all fours. Bring your big toes towards each other and widen your knees and take your hips back towards your heels and let your head either come down to the mat with the arms stretched out. You can have your palms down and the forehead resting, or you could have the fists stacked with the forehead resting. And your hips are just back towards your heels as much as they feel comfortable. So it might be that they don't go all the way, or you could be really able to sit your buttocks back down onto your heels. So whatever works is fine. And then inhale, come up onto all fours. Okay, so we're going to do a shoulder stretch, and we'll start with our right hand. That's the hand of mine that is away from the screen. So we're just going to take it out to the side so that it's at sort of at 90 degrees to the body with the palm down. And then you're going to thread it underneath your left hand. Keep it coming all the way through until your shoulder comes down onto the mat and then your ear comes down. And then you can either stay here, you can sort of lean your body back just a little tiny bit to get the stretch. And what you also might like to do is let your left arm come forward. So you can stretch it all the way forward. And breathe. Bring your left hand back and then scoot yourself back up, placing your right hand onto the floor. So to the other side, we're going to take our left arm out to the side and then thread it underneath, palm up all the way through until your shoulder comes down, your ear comes down, and you can either stay like this because it's enough, or you can slide your right hand forward. And then bring that right hand back, coming up onto the hands and knees. All right. So now turn your fingers back so that they point towards your knees. And this might be enough of a stretch, but you might like to take your body weight back a little bit. So you're stretching into your wrists and probably some parts of your hands. And then release, turning your hands back forward. Take one of your hands and just tuck it under now so that the palm is facing you and the fingers are back towards the knees. And then you're just going to take your body weight back again, bit of a different stretch into one of the wrists only. You wouldn't want to do both of these at the same time. And then come forward. Change the hand, so your left hand, the wrist comes down, palm up with the fingers pointing back towards your knee. And then if you want to, take your body weight back. And then release, coming back to the middle. And we shall do a few cat breaths. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Making sure your fingers are stretched out gently. Broad shoulder blades and lengthening from the tailbone to the crown of the head. So we'll start at the tailbone as we inhale, letting it ease back and up. The body becomes like a hammock, rolling the shoulders back, lifting the chin. And then exhale, tuck the tailbone under, rounding out through the spine, bringing your chin towards your chest. So close your eyes, do it twice more, feeling each vertebrae. If you forget the breathing, just do the movements. But you should be exhaling as your spine rounds out and arches up towards the ceiling. And inhaling as you're working along the spine and your body is becoming like a hammock. Still keeping some tone in your belly as you do this. And once you've finished, return to a neutral spine. Start to do some lateral cats, looking at one ankle and then the other. And coming to the middle, tucking your toes, walking your fingers back, sitting onto your heels. Stretching your feet. Okay, and then we're going to come to seated. So you can sit onto a cushion if you like. It's quite good if your hips are lifted a little bit, but it's not totally necessary at this particular point in time. We won't be here for too long. Okay, so you're sitting onto your sit bones. You can have your legs stretched out, you could have them crossed, or you can have the soles of the feet together. Just whatever works best for you. Okay, so I'll bring our hands together at the heart center, and we're going to do the circle of joy, lots of stretching for your body, your shoulders and arms. So we'll start by interlacing our fingers and kind of letting your knuckles lock, and then widen your elbows. Chin towards the chest, press the palms forward and round out between the shoulder blades. Inhale, scoop the palms up towards the ceiling so you're sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, let your arms come in a big circle and interlace your hands behind you. Roll the shoulders back, inhale, press the knuckles down, just let the chin relax. And then exhale, a big circle, palms come back together and to the heart. So we'll interlace the fingers the other way this time, so your other index finger is forward. Inhale, elbows widen. Exhale, palms press forward, chin towards the chest. Round the shoulder blades. Inhale, scooping the palms up towards the sky. Exhale, big circle, hands coming behind, interlacing the hands the other way. And then roll the shoulders. Inhale, press your knuckles down, opening the chest. And exhale, big circle, come back to the heart. Lovely. Relaxing your hands, taking your legs out wide-ish. And we're just going to put our hands onto our thighs and start to slide down one leg and then the other. So as you slide, try to slide from your hip joints and moving your hands over as much of the skin on your legs as you can. And then come back to the middle. Bring your legs out in front. Bend your knees, let the soles of the feet come towards each other. So we're sitting up nice and tall, holding onto the ankles. As we do this, we want to really try and think about the hip joints and hinging forward and back. So actually, if everyone could just take your fingers and put them onto your hip joints, just as an awareness, hinge yourself forward and back and try and keep your spine long. So rather than letting your shoulders come forward, you want to keep your shoulders and chest open, lengthening out through the crown of the head and just hinging from your hips. All right, that's good. So now you can take your hands back onto your ankles or calves or shins. So we'll inhale and hinge ourselves forward from the hips to start with. Once you sort of reach your maximum point, then let your chin come towards your chest and round out through the spine. And then inhale, tuck your tailbone, start to stack your spine one vertebra at a time until your chin comes up off of the chest. We'll do that again. So hinge forward on the inhale, keep your spine long. And then exhale, chin drops towards the chest, rounding out through the spine. Inhale, coming up to seated as you stack the spine one vertebra at a time. Next time we're going to stay there. So let's inhale and hinge forward. On the exhale, let your chin drop towards your chest, letting your knees be really heavy. Your upper body is rounding and relaxed. And if you want to go a little bit further, you can slide your hands underneath your legs, hold on to the top of your feet, and then let your head drop down. And then inhale, bring yourself up to seated, bend your knees, come over onto the hands and knees, and we will be coming up to a standing position. So you can tuck your knees, your toes under, come into a little balance, and then stand yourself straight up, or you can hinge yourself up or stand up, however you can get there. Okay, so we'll just do a little twist. So standing with your feet underneath your hip joints, let's take our hands out like a cactus. And then we'll simply just inhale and rotate towards whichever side you're going. And then exhale, come back towards the middle. Inhale the other way. Exhale towards the middle. Bring your hands down so that your fingers are about a fist width apart and your shoulders are nice and relaxed. We'll do the same thing again. So inhale, rotate one way. Exhale back towards the middle. Inhale the other way. And exhale towards the middle, letting your arms relax down. All right, so a few neck stretches now. We're going to inhale and exhale, let your ear drop towards your shoulder, whichever one you've done. So the ear is heavy, you're stretching the opposite fingers down towards the floor. And now you're going to do a little nod. So your ears still sort of drop in towards your shoulder. You're going to let your chin come in towards the collarbone and then back. So it's kind of like a crooked neck yes nod. And as you slowly do this, you feel the stretch change. And then come back to the middle, tuck your chin in, roll it back to the center and lift your head up. Inhale and exhale to the other side, stretching the fingers down towards the floor and then start your little nod. Bring it all the way into the collarbone, roll back to the middle, and then come up tall. Beautiful. Let's have some shoulder rolls. Back the other way. One shoulder and then the other. Go back the other way. Lovely. All right, we are going to do a salute to the sun, and I'll be adding some other things in today. So I just want to move this a little. Whoa, it's a bit bright. Come back this way. Still a bit bright. so come up to the top of your mat and you won't be able to see my upper body, but that's okay, we'll just deal with it. So up to the top of the mat, feet underneath the hip joints. Take your arms down by your side, relaxing the shoulders, nice long neck. So we're going to bring the arms up in a big circle as we inhale up above the shoulders. And then on the exhale, sit down into your chair. So you're going to keep your arms near your ears, sitting down into the deepest chair that you can manage today. Everyone's chair is going to be different. And then on the exhale, fold all the way forward, let your belly come onto your thighs, bending your knees enough so that your belly can be on your thighs. And then on the inhale, we're going to take our hands onto our knees and straighten our legs, straighten our spine, coming to our halfway posture, stretching back through the tailbone, broad between the shoulder blades, long legs. And then exhale, bend and slide your hands down, fingers by the sides of the feet. Big step back with your right foot, let your right knee come down. Open out your ankle if you want to, or keep the toes tucked under. We inhale up onto the fingers, lengthening the spine, and then exhale, hinging the hips forward, lunging the hips forward. Okay, so you're going to take your left hand inside of your left foot, both palms down if you can. Inhale, and on the exhale, bend your elbows a little bit or a lot, and maybe you're flexible enough to get your elbows onto the floor. Breathing. Inhale, press up, having the arms straight, taking your left hand back outside of your left foot. And then lift your right knee, foot comes back. We're in our planking position, so you can be a big plank or a little plank. Broad shoulder blades, heels pressing away, stomach muscles drawing towards the spine. Slightly trying to tuck your tailbone in between your legs, and even lifting up the shoulder blades towards the ceiling. And your neck stays nice and long and strong. Okay, so you can either let your knees come down or lower your body straight down to the mat and come all the way down. Little cobra, we inhale, raise the head, slide the chin forward, using your back muscles to bring yourself up. You're probably resting onto your rib cage. Holding for a couple of breaths, keeping those shoulder blades sliding down towards your waist, elbows in towards the sides. And then exhale, release, lowering the head down. Inhale, come up onto all fours. And then exhale back into your child's pose. Inhale onto all fours, making any adjustments so that your knees are under your hips, hands under the shoulders and possibly slightly turned out. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees, bring your belly onto your thighs. Inhale, straighten your legs, lift your tailbone towards the ceiling. And then exhale, let your heels come towards the mat. You need to possibly bend your knees. It very much depends on the flexibility of your hamstrings and your calf muscles, whether you can keep your body like a triangle with a nice long spine and get your heels to the mat. I can't. Take your left foot a little bit closer to your right foot. On the inhale, you're going to stretch your right leg up behind, three-legged dog. And now, look between your hands you've got to get your right foot in there somehow. So you might be able to bring it through and step it in, or you might need to do a few steps to get there. And then step your left foot forward too. Hands onto the shins. Inhale to your halfway. Straight legs, straight spine. Bend your knees and exhale, fold forward. Big circle as we come up standing, and as we come up, let's come up onto the toes and have a little balance. Your arms are above your shoulders at the moment. Bring the palms together, heels come down and hands come to the heart center. Let your arms come down. Big circle inhale, arms back up in line with the shoulders. Exhale, sit down into your chair. So if your arms get tired, you can bring them down to be not at parallel with the floor, or onto your hips, or onto your knees even. And now fold all the way down, forward fold. Hands onto the shins, inhale. Straighten the legs, straighten the spine. Exhale, forward fold, slide down. Fingers by the sides of the feet, big step back with your left foot this time. Either keeping the left, let the left knee come down. Toes tucked under or ankle opened, up to you. Inhale up onto your fingers. Lengthen your spine, and then exhale, lunge the hips. Okay, so we're taking our right hand inside of the right foot, both palms down if you can. Inhale, and then on the exhale, bend your elbows, and maybe take your elbows down to the floor. Inhale, straighten the arms. Take your right hand back outside of the right foot. Straighten your left leg. Step back into your plank. So remember, you can either do a big plank or you can do a little plank with your knees down. Strong through the middle of the body without being forceful. Well, everyone's on their hands, so thinking about your thumb and index finger knuckles rather than moving the weight back towards your heel of your hand. So we're going to lower ourselves down to the mat. Inhale, head raises, chin slides forward, back muscles working to bring yourself into little cobra. And then lift your hands. Breathe. Hands come down and slowly release. Inhale, pushing up onto all fours. And exhale back into child's pose. Inhale, all fours, making adjustments, hands under the shoulders, knees under hips, tuck the toes, lift your knees, belly onto the thighs. Your arms and ears are in line with each other. Broad shoulder blades. Now inhale, up onto the toes, stretch your tailbone to the sky, keep your spine nice and long. As you exhale, bring the heels towards the mat with the knees slightly bent. And breathe. Step your right foot closer to your left foot. Inhale, stretch that left leg up behind. Look between your hands. Put your left foot in there somehow. Some days it's easier than others. All right, step your right foot forward. Letting your body hang. Hands onto the shins. Inhale. Halfway. Exhale. Lower down. Big circle with the arms as we come up into a little balance up onto the toes again. Your arms are above your shoulders, fingers pointing towards the ceiling. Palms come together, heels down and hands to the heart. Closing your eyes and taking 3 long, slow breaths. Letting your arms relax down. Let's give everything a shake. All right, and now it's time for an inverted posture. So, for those of you that have a bolster, you can use your bolster to bring yourself into that position. This is where, if you don't have a bolster, you put your legs up the wall. So just find yourself a bit of wall if you've got any, or you could, if you wanted to, lay on the ground with your calf muscles on the lounge. So your legs are at a 90-degree angle. So if you're near the wall, you want to try and get your buttocks as close to the wall as you can and stretch your legs up the wall, and letting everything relax as much as possible. So once you're there and you're comfortable in the posture, start to become aware of your breath, making sure that your arms are in a relaxed position, either out to the sides or circled around your head, palms up. And we will do the 1 to 10 breath. So you're inhaling on the odd numbers and exhaling on the even numbers from 1 to 10. If you get all the way to 10, start again. If your mind wanders, when you realise, just start at 1. Feeling the sensations in your feet and legs. Taking 3 long, slow breaths. And once you're done, bend your knees, letting your feet come towards the wall or drop towards your bottom. If you're up against the wall, just roll yourself onto your side. If you're over the bolster, take your feet down to the floor and either let your legs relax there or slide your legs further away. And then when you're ready, bring yourself up to a seated position. And if we all come to the seated position, bringing our hands to our heart center. So hands to the heart center. And we'll finish with a loving kindness prayer. So let's inhale a big circle, bringing your palms together to the crown of the head. May we be filled with loving kindness. To the eyebrow center, may we be well. To the throat, may we be peaceful and at ease in our lives. And to our hearts, may we be happy. Namaste.